Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into a video talking about the future of LEGO and Disney Plus and everything that's happening over there. Now, on Friday, we had, of course, the first ever Disney Plus day, and I'll use an air quotes, revealed, because really they didn't do too much. It was a little bit of a disappointment, I think, especially the fact that it wasn't a live stream. If you didn't know, I actually live streamed me hitting the refresh page on Twitter and Instagram for the whole thing, and we had like 1,400 viewers or something like that at one point. So insane stream. I think the biggest I've had ever on any channel. So really awesome. But my point about that was that, I was having to stream it myself, and instead of them having like a presentation. It's very odd, and I missed hearing Kevin Feige talk about Marvel stuff, and we're happy to announce that, we were adding this character to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it was missing it. It really was missing it. But I thought we'd sit down, talk about some of the things, because since then I've been getting so many questions about what do you think of this, what do you think of that, what do you think this means for LEGO, and all this stuff. So I just figured, have this one video. You can check out time codes if you want to jump around. I'll touch on Star Wars just for the briefest of briefness. I don't have much to say. I didn't show much for it. So yeah, let's just quickly talk about Marvel, I guess, and how it'll impact us going forward. Now, if you haven't heard, there is a rumor that there are 4 minifigure series next year, and I am curious because we haven't heard anything so far about getting any sets off of these shows, and if the shows that we got this year for 2021 are anything to go off of, they seem to have a preference towards one thing, and that was What If. What If had 2 sets as well as 5 minifigures dedicated in the LEGO Marvel Studios minifigure series to that show. 5 out of 12. That's a pretty big amount if you think about it in the grand scheme of things. So I think that looking at these things, looking at the amount of animated projects that were announced for Marvel specifically, I think it is really interesting to see how LEGO will handle that going forward. Now, to go back to that rumor that I was talking about, because it was listed on a shop that there was 4 different CMF series, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if one of them is Marvel. We did actually get a LEGO Batman series back-to-back, year after year, and if LEGO's not wanting to do sets and they want to continue doing this series, which obviously it did super well, I think that it would be really interesting if we do see some of the characters in the same sort of format, where maybe it's like 2 characters from the show minimum, and then maybe what if season 2 would get another 5 characters or something along those lines, or some shows of course would have to get 3 to fill out the rank of 12. Now, what was actually shown off, there's not too much to be able to be like, hey, this could be a set, and you should have that vehicle, and this play set. There really wasn't much. We didn't even get to see official looks at Moon Knight and She-Hulk, which to me was the only expectation that I had going into this for Disney Plus and Marvel. I was really disappointed that we didn't actually get to see them. And we have seen a leak of Moon Knight, and I'm not going to show you, but it's been confirmed that of course was real, because it's actually that bathroom or wherever he is in the presentation that they gave. So cool that we've seen Moon Knight, unofficially though, from the leak. But anyways, just goes to show that that's real. So yeah, just to go through again, some of the figures that I think we could get in a series, or even just the sets itself, of course, would be Miss Marvel. And I'm not sure who else you could do. Again, we don't really have too much to go off of there, but it would be interesting to get her, of course, and we have seen from promotional images and things like that actually reveal what her outfit looks like and all that, the official outfit, and her powers, and how it's not stretchy arms and it's like this transparent sort of Green Lantern thing. So it'd be interesting if we do get her, and she could use that new Eternal Fist there, I think is what a lot of people have been saying. For Miss Marvel, we actually do have her already. She did come in one set. I actually did a review of that. You could check it out at the top here. But She-Hulk, and that's really interesting. If you didn't know, we actually have a figure of her, and she's not cheap. She came in a horrible set, absolutely horrible set, but the figure, however, was really great. And the reason I say horrible is because it was so expensive with those big figures. The set itself, it's fine. It's just it was so expensive for what it was. But She-Hulk was in there, only there, and I think it would be really great to get her in a new version from the MCU. For Moon Knight, we've never gotten him in physical form at all, and I know that I'm kind of jumping ahead here. First off, we've got Hawkeye, and that's coming out in a few weeks, and we've got nothing for that. But I've got you covered. I've got a really cool idea for something to do with him. But yeah, it's just kind of disappointing. It's like, why aren't you doing anything? He's a classic Avenger. Definitely should have gotten something, some sort of set, or even a spot in the series, especially since it was 2021. And I just really want Kate Bishop as well. So, and from that, of course, we got the Echo spin-off show, so that's kind of interesting. In terms of the other live action stuff, we also have Ironheart. We heard nothing about Armor Wars, nothing about Agatha House of Harkness. Now, if that does come out next year, maybe the following year, maybe she could come in that CMF series, since of course she is the lead of that show, and Loki was about a villain, and he was included in the series. Maybe, you know, he's a hero, you know what I mean. But anyways, we've also got Secret Invasion, which we did get our first look at. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury there with the really fake beard that we saw posted on Instagram. But yeah, cool to see him back. And honestly, it's shocking to me that that just began filming and we got more of a look there than we did at specifically looking at you, Star Wars, but also just like it's an official look at what he's going to look like in that show, which we didn't even get for She-Hulk and Moon Knight, besides their civilian outfits, which who cares? I'm just scrolling through here to see what I'm missing for the non-animated stuff. There was the Guardian special. They didn't talk about it or promote it, but that is also something that's happening. I could see us getting next year that the advent calendar is going to be based around that if we do get another Marvel one, similar to how they did the Lego Star Wars special on Disney Plus, and that was actually tied to the advent calendar last year. Animated stuff, this is the stuff that I could see us getting sets for, and there's some really cool stuff that I think for sure might happen. And specifically, what if I'm sure we'll get sets off of that. I'm so positive we will get sets next year off of What If. I won't necessarily be as excited since they're trying to like do what ifs of phase 4 stuff, which we just had sets on. So it was fun with What If because they're reaching back and kind of doing different iterations of past movies, where these are like current ones that the sets probably next year will still be on shelves, with like Black Widow. Maybe that one actually is retiring this year, but like Shang-Chi and Eternals and different things like that. Some of the other ones, specifically looking at the zombies, because it actually had 2 out of the 5 spots in the minifigure series. We have Marvel Zombies. Really, really crazy that we are getting that its own show. So happy about that. And then we got the I Am Groot, which we already knew about, and other animated stuff. I'm going to talk about X-Men first. This is not in the MCU. I keep getting this question. It is actually them reviving the old show, and I think that's really cool, and that's going to excite a ton of people. I've never watched it, but you know, it gives me reason to now. Could we get sets? Potentially. It depends on how well the show does, as well as how much Disney is wanting to actually push out for this show. Like if they're going to do merch with other toy companies, I hope Lego is involved in that somehow. X-Mansion, please. Please, 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 please. And then we've also got, lastly here, which is really exciting, is the Spider-Man freshman year. And that is actually about his first year in high school and the origins of Spider-Man in the MCU, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And what's great about that is if we do get a set, we could actually see the homemade suit in a set, or even if it is actually a part of the minifigure series or whatever, if there is another one coming, that would be incredible to finally get the homemade suit. Although they could easily do a Infinity Saga set from Spider-Man Homecoming as well as an alternative. But quickly, let's move over to Star Wars. What was revealed? They did a little behind the scenes thing for Obi-Wan Kenobi. That is it. We saw some cool locations, some cool fight between Vader and Obi-Wan. Doesn't make sense to me timeline-wise, but I'm still nonetheless very excited about that show. And I think that it's just kind of weird that we didn't get any official look. That thing has been done filming for I don't know how long, so don't know what's up with Star Wars. They also had in their little sizzle reel Andor and the Bad Batch Season 2 on the title cards. They didn't talk about them at all. Nothing. We already had the Boba Fett trailer recently, but we already knew that there's some sets coming for that, so I can't really talk too much about that because I don't really know what's happening with those 2 Lego sets that we already know are coming. But other than that, Lego hasn't really done anything else for Disney Plus, so I wouldn't expect anything for any of the other announcements, I would say. But anyways, let me know if I'm forgetting or not thinking of something. But I would love to hear your thoughts. What did you think of Disney Plus Day? What was your experience with it? What are you hoping to see in Lego form in the future? But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.